Chuggaaconroy is one of the original gaming Let's Play channels on YouTube who have existed on the platform consistently uploading with no controversy to his name for the last 15 years. But earlier today, that changed when Lady Emily came out with a thread accusing Chuggaaconroy of trying to initiate foot fetish erotic roleplay with her while he's in a relationship with another person. It starts when she tweeted out, scrolling through Reddit and seeing dozens of comments calling the popular YouTuber who sexually harassed you for several months last year a wholesome being with only green flags. A couple hours later, she then quote retweeted herself and said, "Fuck it, just to get it off my chest, last year Chuggaaconroy kept trying to get me to initiate erotic foot fetish roleplay with him while he also had a girlfriend. This included sending shoes to my house under the guise of a gift, only to consistently ask for feet pics afterwards. Eventually, I started ignoring him because I wasn't sure how to navigate around him clearly trying to rope me into fetish shit, and in return, his messages to me got more frequent and aggressive." She then shows various Discord screenshots. This first one is from June 11th, where Chuggaaconroy says something to her and then follows it up by saying, "And beautiful. So, I originally planned to go with black with a floral pattern, but they lacked it in your size. So I went with what I thought was most likely to go with any clothes." She responds, "Oh, honestly, great call, because I love black high tops, but haven't had any in years and years." Chugga responds, "Ha ha ha, it's my personal favorite shoe." She responds, "It's a great shoe. Goes with everything." Chugga responds, "Do I get to see you in them?" These next set of messages are from September 16th, and it starts out with Chugga saying, "Ha ha ha ha, thank you. Trying to get a lot done. I want to finish the series or at least get close so I can travel to Scotland to see my significant other soon." She responds, "Oh cool, I didn't realize she was in Scotland." Chugga responds, "Yeah, pretty far, but we're thinking of immigration next year. Would you like to pick up where we left off last night?" Ha 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 ha. It dropped off suddenly. You tend to disappear. An hour and a half later he then says, "Aw, gonna ping you once more." And then the next day he says, "Well hello, have a nice doctor's visit?" Then 3 hours later he says, "Sorry to ping again, just wanted to know." And then 5 hours later he says, "Damn, you're no fun. Kidding, just a little concerned." An hour and a half later he then says, "Sorry, that was rude of me. I shouldn't say stuff like that, even jokingly. You have your own stuff going on as much as I do." 2 hours later he responds, "Hey." And then 3 hours later he responds, "Hey, sorry, am I bugging you too much? I just got done with work and saw I hadn't heard back." 25 hours later he says, "Hey yo, how's today? Feeling any better?" And then 3 days later he says, "Hey, sorry if I'm bugging you. I understand you've got your own stuff going on too. I just wanted to wish you well tonight after seeing you talking about how much being sick set you back. I've really enjoyed talking to you more through it. I'll leave you be after this message in case you need rest." This next message is from October 26th when he says, "I missed you." Then on the 27th he says, "Are you doing better?" 28th he says, "Blah." 30th he says, "Blargan." And then on the 1st of November he says, "Hey, hope I'm not piling it on. I just saw you were on." And then on the 6th of November he says, "Hello." Emily continues her thread by saying, "As far as I know, I'm not the only nor the first person he's done this to. He would try to assure me everything is fine, while also clearly trying to initiate fetish italicized text RP." She then shows some more Discord screenshots. This one is from the 9th of September where she says to him, "That's what I thought too, lol. I was like, I could fix this, but it's funnier if it's flawed. At times I do miss the versatility of the old avatar. It was fun to mess with." Chugga responds, "Is that the face you make if I ran off with your shoes at a con?" She responds, laughing my ass off, something like that. Chugga responds, "Ha ha ha ha, what would you even do?" This next DM is from September 13th, where Chuggaaconroy says, "Yeah, being forward with you because I'd rather not keep anything from you, and let you make the best decision for you. I am into that, but only with my significant other. I just also like talking about shoes with people because it's also an interest. I talked with my significant other about this when we started dating, and she told me I can talk about shoes with other people because it isn't sexual with my friends. It's something I enjoy talking about with my friends too. I know that might be a lot to share, and I'm sorry if it is, but I feel it's best to just be open with people and consider what I'd like to know if I were in their position." Emily then responds to Chuggaaconroy sometime within 20 minutes of the last message we read out, and then Chuggaaconroy responds, "Good, glad we understand each other." Walks up behind you and trips you with some fancy footwork. You thud to the ground, and I yank your sneakers off in an instant. "Ha ha ha, loser!" Chucks them at you. Lady Emily continues her thread by saying, "It had started with him attending my Pokemon Black streams last December and chatting. We started talking in DMs because he seemed chill. Then on June 4th, I uploaded a selfie, and he zoomed into my shoes in the background and messaged me about them." She then shows this selfie she tweeted, where her shoes just happen to be in the background, and then some DMs from Chuggaaconroy that starts out by him saying, "Nice sneakers." She responds, lol, thank you. I need new ones, to be honest. My everyday pair is starting to see some damage, lol. Chugga responds, seems sadly typical due to thin fabric. She responds, yeah. The curse of liking shoes that aren't durable. Got them on sale though, so for $20, can't complain. Hope you've been doing well. Chugga responds, hey, thank you. I just finished editing a video that was nuts to make. It covers the small you can develop in Pokemon. An hour later into the conversation, Chuggaaconroy asks, so like, do you have a P.O. box? She responds, not at the moment, no. Chugga responds, oh well, I was going to see if I could partake in birthday niceness. They then talk about Pokemon for a bit more, and then Chuggaaconroy says, if I may be so bold, sneaker size? She responds, oh, generally around this size, give or take a little, but it's usually what works most often. Chugga responds, nice. She responds, yeah. And then Chugga says, okay, well, I'll figure something out. Not sure if you have any dislikes for me to be aware of. Emily continues her Twitter thread by saying, convos would often derail suddenly. One moment we'd be talking about Nintendo games, and then it would shift immediately to feet talk. He was very persistent in commenting how big my feet are. I tried to respond with blunt jokes to make the vibes less creepy out of nerves. She then shows video of these Discord DMs to prove that it's actually from Chuggaaconroy. I'll read out the relevant messages as I let the proof scroll by on the left-hand side. The start of the first video continues the conversation that we last read, with Emily responding, I'm sure whatever you get me I'll like. Chugga responds, haha, how nice of you. And then she responds, haha, of course. On June 7th, Chugga says, sent you some stuff today. I had a plan A I couldn't do because your feet were too darn big, so I went with a different idea. She responds, oh lol, I'm excited to see what it is. Thank you so much. Chugga responds, wow, you took what I said surprisingly well. She responds, laughing my ass off, I know my feet are big. It's a thing. I'm curious what plan A was. Chugga responds, hahaha, really? It's a thing you joke about? She responds, hahaha, I mean, I'm not supposed to advertise, but it's just kind of a fact of life. Chugga responds, hahaha, that's a fair stance on the issue. I'm lucky I'm a 12. One size bigger and no shoe stores would carry my size. These next set of messages I want to show are from September 13th, and they're just talking about a video game, but then suddenly Chuggaaconroy responds, okay, I'm gonna miss your shoes. It was kind of nice being their caretaker again. Looks at them in my hands. As hard as it was at times, they stunk horribly. She responds, oh yeah, sorry about that. It is what it is. And then Chugga responds, man, big and stinky? You've got it all. And then Emily makes one last tweet in her Chuggaaconroy thread when she says, and for those of you asking how I know it was his actual Discord and not an impersonator I was talking to, beyond the fact that I ran it by mutuals of ours to make sure it was valid, here's our first connection over Twitter leading up to things going to Discord. She then shares the proof, and once again I'm going to read out the relevant messages for you. Chuggaaconroy reached out to her on December 30th, 2022 by saying, that is nuts. As someone who worked with a lot of conventions, everyone kinda always knew Vic was weird. People just kept letting him do it for so long because he was so popular and drew in crowds. She responds, God yeah, that's what I've heard from everyone. I remember meeting him in 09 at a con, and even then I knew he was kinda weird around me. His downfall has been a long time coming, and he has no one to blame but himself. Chugga responds, seriously, I had dinner with him once through a mutual friend, and he wore leather pants and talked about how hot he is, and this was like in a hotel lobby burger place. She responds, oh my god, yeah, that tracks. Chuggaaconroy then responds by talking about Pokemon, and this conversation about video games and movies and stuff continues until February 16th, 2023, when Chuggaaconroy asks if she wants his Discord, and then she sends it to him. And that's about it for these allegations so far. I mean, I really shouldn't even call it allegations because it's pretty much been proven that it is him, but on the internet, you can't be too safe. I'll just say allegations for now. Regardless, this situation has blown up on Twitter, gaining nearly 4 million views in the last 5 hours, with a ton of people coming out in support of Emily. So I will cover those reactions and any other updates to the story in my next video. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe to this channel with notifications on. As you noticed in the beginning of the video, I did say that Chuggaaconroy was the reason I started YouTube, and that's true. So seeing this come out is incredibly disheartening, and while I am biased towards him because I've admired him over the last decade and a half, I am going to try and keep this coverage as unbiased as possible, wait for things to play out, and just present the information as it's being presented by the accusers or the defenders on Twitter, as I always do. And once we get a response from Chuggaaconroy, I will maybe go in depth on my opinion on this. So if you don't want to miss that, there's another reason to subscribe with notifications on. Like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.